Within a few hours, one gets away from the hot and sultry plains to pure and invigorating air with heavy mists, even in the hottest time of the year. The Tank civilization and the agrarian economy of ancient Sri Lanka reaches its most glorious phase in the 12th century at Polonnaruwa. Strategically located on a crossing of the river Mahaveli in the great divide between the north-central plains and the southern region, Polonnaruwa was the second and the last great capital of the Mahavamsa kings. However, Polonnaruwa's place in history was mainly due to Parakramabahu the Great, in whose reign of 42 years the city very nearly surpassed its predecessor in splendor and fame. As these reconstructed models show, Polonnaruwa is more secular than Anuradhapura, more urbane and sensuous. Moreover, as the ruins are not so ruined, they require less effort of imagination to enable one to recast scenes of the past. Polonnaruwa dominates in weather-worn brick as against the purer rock creations of Anuradhapura. There is a decadent stucco ornamentation which whispers of imitation. Three centuries before Polonnaruwa was built, the hand of the Pandyan and Chola invader was strong in Sri Lanka. This, no doubt, is one reason why the style and architecture of Polonnaruwa is predominantly Hindu in type. As the classical contours of gracefully sculptured granite give way to brick, one sees Tamil norms of architecture dominate in buildings which are devoted to Buddhist religious concepts. Parakrama himself was a Brahmin and chiefly of Tamil blood, as doubtless were his court and nobility. The royal architect of Polonnaruwa may have realized that he had to conciliate two sections of supporters and could not afford to alienate the Sinhalese and the Buddhist monks. As the Sinhala kingdom began withdrawing to the central hills, in the great historical shift known as the drift to the southwest, the jungle tide crept over Pulatti Nagara, as Polonnaruwa was referred to in the ancient chronicles. By the beginning of the 19th century, it had become a malaria-infested marginal settlement known as Topari. One day, in the year 1828, a young first lieutenant of His Majesty's 2nd Ceylon Regiment, marching his detachment from Batticaloa in the east coast to the interior, was attracted by some stone pillars standing in the jungle, off the road, and decided to examine. It was he, Lieutenant M.H. Fagan, who stumbled upon the ruins of Polonnaruwa after 5 centuries of oblivion. What is reconstructed here is what Fagin may have imagined Polonnaruwa to have been in its days of glory. His carefully compiled notes, first published in the Ceylon Government Gazette of August 1st, 1820, and reprinted in 1885 in Volume 2 of the Orientalist, written with a gift for vividly painting a picture in words, are a pioneer account of the discovery of the disintegrating remains of Pulatti Nagara, consigned to oblivion under a forest of large trees, 5 centuries old and covered by a mantle of lush undergrowth.